him, to be fair. His coat's completely cleaned up now. He always gets a little bit bouncy and a little bit on his toes before he goes out. I think that he's just right at the top of his game today, and I'm hopeful that he can bounce back and do the family proud. A couple of other horses I thought that looked fantastic. Mighty Ulysses I thought saddled up looking in superb order, and Jimmy Star as well. He's looked great his last few, and today's no different, but head and heart, do it for Pole.
Good on you, Amy. We're all with you too with another will. All the very best to the McKenna family with your runner here. Vale, the great man, Cole. Jimmy Star, though, they're coming for the stablemate of another will. 2:35 on a Saturday is a good go. Nicolini Vito, number 7 outside of that, 17 to 11. And also Stepardi and Age of Kings, if you're playing your multiples, have all had specking. 7, 8 and 11 have had specking. But race 4, number 5, Jimmy Star is the horse they have to beat. Chances are you're about to lose. For Frank Confidential support, call the 1-800 number or visit the website.
OK, runners making their way down to the start for the Damien Oliver. Just about 5 minutes to go. And Michael, as we said, Kieran Maher holds all the aces in this race.
Yeah, he sure does. Between the two, to get the better run is Jimmy Star from where he's drawn. Another will, we've seen him in races when they go slow. He does travel a bit too keen. With the race only having the solo really leader with Tamerlane in front, if he goes at a temporary, like a sedated speed, another will's going to be behind him and just travelling too keen.
Could be a very interesting race as far as that's concerned. Well, let's hear from Kieran Maher himself.
Yeah, thanks, Hutch. Kieran Maher with 2 key chances in the Damien Oliver in Jimmy Star and another will. The late Cole McKenna said he is a Jamie horse and he gets his wish today.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't go to plan last start, and Jamie back on as a plus. She knows the horse very well. He's drawn ideal. I was keen to see him go to the start because he can get a little bit warm in the yard, but that's pretty consistent with him. And yeah, so Jamie will probably just find a bit of cover today. And as I said, she knows him well, and I think he should run back to form.
Looks like a Derby day where conditions are to suit for Jimmy Star in regards to running on. How do you evaluate things?
He's had a flawless prep. He's just growing up all the time. His 2 runs have been super. I thought he presented better today, and his manners were very good also. So I think he's still on the upward trajectory.
Hard to split?
Very hard to split, actually. I think Will probably lands a little bit more forward in the race. Jimmy might slightly have a better turn of foot. So you look at their records, they're nearly identical.
Thanks, Kieran. Good luck.
Cheers, Nige.
Thanks for your time, James. Tamerlane, I thought that he presented in lovely, healthy order in the yard.
He's got a nice, fresh record without it being an overwhelmingly good one. But we think he can run well here, despite the fact that he's in a handicap where he's up near the top and up there with some promising horses. But look, Tamerlane, he's $1 million earner, a classy horse in his own right, and he's not out of place in this yard.
It's not easy to do, is it? Any horse that can earn $1 million on the racetrack, they've got that good natural ability, and even if their fitness isn't quite there, that takes them a long way. Yeah, true. And what we tried to do was just to have him well set up at 7 furlongs, which is a pace that he likes. He had a lung burner during the week at Hawkesbury, and James McDonald's just riding beautifully, so he's just going to be able to spend his energy perfectly. If he can get somewhere like the 1-1 here and be given plenty of room in the home straight, maybe his toughness will be enough to overcome some sharp rivals. But he's a nice horse, and I think he can acquit himself well. Best of luck. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that. And look, it's a great race. Michael, you sounds like when we spoke earlier today, you were pretty keen on another will.
Yeah, I sure was. But the thing is, he needs a good, like a more than even tempo for him to be able to relax. And for him being an opposite to his stablemate Jimmy Star, who's got a really good turn of foot, he needs to get out and build a lot earlier. So
the inside draw from that point of view then?
I would have rather have drawn out on him, so you could tend to go when you want and actually push the button before the others do. Because if Jimmy Star, if they hit and head halfway up the straight, Jimmy Star will just explode because his turn of foot's quicker. But Tamerlane, also with him in front, if he ends up in front and James McDonald knows about the wind, what you would do if he's in front, right, and you'd slow down and probably go half a second quicker than what you normally would do to be able to allow your horse to have more carriage at the end rather than going normal against the wind and undoing yourself.
Nigel, we think it on paper looks like a race racing too, and the market has it a similar way. But, gee whiz, the performance first up from Mighty Ulysses was terrific, and it's another one that I think deserves to be brought into the conversation.
Yeah, it's emblematic of what we're perhaps dealing with on Derby Day or any of our feature days across this week. Archie's, he got $16 or thereabouts Mahaba in the previous, and there was nothing wrong with his form, so there's certainly value to be found outside of the top chances. Carls, I'm interested to get your understanding. I know you're inside the studio, but we're 24 degrees and with a 20-kilometre-hour northerly. How do you go balancing that against just having your horse in the best possible place in the run?
You've just got, when it's like that, you just got to have cover. But if you are exposed, you sort of come undone, you know, in the last sort of 300 metres. So it's definitely a time where you need to get cover.
Not far from finishing the loading process. Let's go to Matt Hill.
Drew, right next to the famous bridge over there. Judging by the traffic that I could see over there earlier, plenty of people crowding into Flemington. This crowd has certainly built. It's a fantastic atmosphere, a very special day. Now going into the stalls is Tamar Lane, ridden by James McDonald, who won this race 2 years ago on Old Flame. Here's Jimmy Star, real up-and-comer. Has done some miraculous things so far in his career. Blake Shin aboard. Here's Stapati. Stapati goes in, and the Astrologist is going to be the final one. So the Astrologist, who's travelled the world, now at 1,400 metres, taking one more turn, is going to complete the line. So the Astrologist completes the line, and the field set for the Damien Oliver. They're ready. Few no's. Starter happy now. Gates crash and they're away. Another Will jumped very well from the inside draw, and Stapati began quickly. Also the Astrologist not an option, and Tamar Lane shows speed. Another Will back to fifth from Mighty Ulysses, Jimmy Star. Then Age of Kings, Ripcord, well back Laws of Indices and Nicolini Vito. So the field run by the 1,100 metres, where the Astrologist took it up cleanly by about 2.5 lengths to Not an Option, Stapati, 1.25 lengths, another Will, Tamar Lane. Two further back in the field, Age of Kings, and then Mighty Ulysses, a gap Jimmy Star, Ripcord, Laws of Indices, and at the tail Nicolini Vito at the 800 metres. So the leader, the Astrologist, by 3/4 length, tries to get a bit of a breather before the corner from Not an Option, and then came Stapati, who's had a nice trail. Another Will fourth the inside from Tamar Lane, over 1 length away Mighty Ulysses, Age of Kings. Then came Jimmy Star with 9 lengths to pick up. Ripcord well back, Nicolini Vito and Laws of Indices. So the Astrologist at the 400 metres with Not an Option. Here's Stapati letting loose on the outside. Another Will needs a run behind them. Then Tamar Lane, Age of Kings and Jimmy Star wide out. Stapati went to the front at the 250. From Tamar Lane back to the inside, another Will, and Jimmy Star late. Another Will darts back on the inside at the 100. Jimmy Star's flashing, but another Will's clear. A win that means so much. Another Will by 1.25 lengths. Jimmy Star second from Stapati, followed by Tamar Lane, and behind them Nicolini Vito. Then Age of Kings, Mighty Ulysses, Ripcord, the Astrologist, Laws of Indices, and at the tail, Not an Option. Another Will, Jamie Carr for Kieran Maher, with Cole McKenna riding on Jamie's shoulder. And those famous colours, the green and blue salutes. A little bit of a worrying moment at the 300 metres when Jamie was trying to find a run, but she persisted. When the Astrologist retreated over on the inside, she's darted back, and another Will has responded. Jimmy Star was always going to have to get past another Will, but couldn't quite do so today. It's been beaten 1.25 lengths, and Stapati, who is slowly but surely working himself back into his best form in third. What a trifecta it is. Some very smart horses, 2, 5, 8 and 3. 2, 5, 8 and 3. But this will be an emotional moment for jockey Jamie Carr and trainer Kieran Maher. 1.25 lengths by 3/4 length in 1:22.96, and as far as that time is concerned, that is 2.1 outside of class record time. 2, 5, 8 and 3 to the Damien Oliver.
Oliver, and we saw Jamie pointing to the sky, of course, in reference to the late Cole McKenna, and yeah, it's going to be a very emotional win, I think, Michael, for Jamie, for Kieran, the whole team.
Most definitely.
Denise.
You can see Jamie there. She was crying straight away. That's about the emotion and how much the McKenna family helped her throughout her career, even when she was younger. But the way she rode the horse, that was just by script. She went around one horse, and her rider was just outstanding, and he was held up. I reckon that's the best turn of foot I've actually seen this horse show.
Yeah.
He exploded. Usually, instead of just gradually getting to his top, when the gap opened, he exploded, so it was good. But, yeah, condolences to the McKenna family. It was something that needed to happen and should have happened. It was amazing.
Racing has a funny way with these fairy tales and these moments, and she had to overcome a little bit of adversity, Jamie, in the straight. I mean, she was held up. There was a couple of strides there where, oh, Jimmy Star might be off and gone here, but she didn't panic. She waited for the run, and when the gap did present, well, he did the rest.
Yeah, he sure did. There's one thing about this horse, when Jamie rides it, she knows this horse inside out. She's achieved all the accolades, all the wins on the horse. Same with Mark Zara on Growing Empire later. He knows that horse inside out. So jockeys who know horses, it's always a plus, and it's obviously more a bonus than not.
Definitely, and you can see these fantastic shots from above. Let's cross back to the track, and I'm sure a pretty emotional Kieran Maher.
1-2 for Kieran Maher and his team in the Damien Oliver with Another Will and Jimmy Star. The kid from Winslow gets it done for the bloke from Woolsthorpe. What's this mean, mate?
It's pretty special. Just to have a lot of Cole's family and friends in the horse. That's why he loves racing. He bred it. You know, he's no more passionate person, and great mate, great mentor, and yeah, he would just love to be here today. But I'm sure he's looking down, and pretty special. Thought he'd run back to form, and yeah, Janice was watching on at Woolsthorpe, so yeah, all the best to you, and yeah, great job by the team. We've just changed things up a little bit for him, brought him down to Cranbourne, and just for that simple fact, the change, and Jamie back on, she knows him very well, and yeah, it's phenomenal really. And Jimmy was great. I thought he had the momentum there to was going to knock Will off, and it was a bit tight in there, but no, she's made a steal, and she was very good.
Well, as you said, 250 out, didn't look like we were going to get our fairy tale. It says a bit about his capacity to overcome adversity. First up, it was out the back on a day where he couldn't make ground, and he did, and today he gets out of a cage like that.
He's a very progressive horse, and I probably got it wrong last start, but you know, you know, Jimmy's a very good horse, and you know, to have a better turn of foot than him is hard to do, and like you said, he was held up. Yeah, so very proud, and I'm sure Cole is as well.
In all likelihood, we see him have another crack and a duo attack the Rupert Clark.
Possibly Rupert Clark. I'll have a chat to Jamie. I might even have a nom in the Champions Mile, but yeah, good to have options.
You talk about the impact that Cole's had on you, Kieran, but what have you seen from afar in regards to what he's been able to do for Jamie through a pretty challenging couple of years in both her life and career?
Yeah, both Cole and Janice, you know, I think they ran Jamie. Spoke to Jamie every day on a number of occasions for different reasons, when, you know, she was needing a shoulder to lean on, and that's, you just would not know how many people Cole touched. And yeah, like Jamie, great example, and yeah, you know, he was sadly missed, and I'm sure next Friday there'll be a lot of people there celebrating his life.
It's put a lot of smiles on people's faces, Kieran. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.